That's my
I
thought.
think I have another topic if you want to jump into a short topic real quick.
Yeah.
Love your take on it. Okay, so I stumbled across this idea of building community around your products. And this I think applies largely to like software products, but I'm sure you can apply it anywhere, any kind of product really. But the idea is this. So I stumbled across this girl's LinkedIn profile, and basically her business is like, it's like an agency, but she basically says, we help you build a community around your product so that you can get more value from your customers, by kind of building that like rabid like love for your product in the form of like a community, right? Imagine if I just had a boring software product, maybe it's like a PDF editor or something. And it's just like anonymous on the internet. You know, I run ads, I get people to use it. Maybe I make a little money. But imagine all the alternative, you know, parallel universe where I build a community around that product, and I have like maybe a Discord or a Slack channel where all of the users of that product are just in there. They're like saying, oh, we want this feature, we want this to happen, like give us this, give us this. And there's just like, I don't know if that kind of excitement would exist for like a PDF editor, but just bear with me here. Imagine you have lots of like engaged people, and they're just like throwing out ideas. They're like, oh, I had this issue. Oh, I really like this about it. Like, what do you guys, how are you doing this? Are you solving this problem in a specific way? And there's just like this really like great community of people around your product, like, you know, talking about your product, like thinking about it, brainstorming new ideas, new features. And you're just, as the builder, you're like engaged with them. Maybe even your product is open source and you actually allow contributors to edit pieces of your product, and you can like let them provide like different front end experiences and let them build their own on top of the back end or something. Anyway, point is like I stumbled across this concept of like building a community around your product to get more value from your customers, but also to give them more value because they'll get a lot more from it if they're much more engaged with the product. And they can kind of request features and really just get the perfect product out into the open. And they can help you along that journey. I thought that was such a cool idea. I was like, you know, that's so interesting. Especially a product that like is sort of centered like for other business people. Like if your product is B2B, it makes a lot more sense for that product to have a sort of community following, because then you really can like leverage this idea of like other entrepreneurs or other business people figuring out how to better use your product for their specific use case, or maybe even you have some developers that are building on top of your open source client or whatever it may be. And I was thinking about that, and I just was wondering, like, have you heard about this concept of like, you know, building a community around a product to, I don't know, that could also help a lot with like iteration and like design and
Is
adding
it
new features.
just for customer feedback?
I mean, that's definitely one little piece of it, but also it's like if your customers almost feel like they're helping to like build the product for themselves, like they're almost part of the building process, they'll one be way more connected to it, right? So there's a lot more like loyalty there. But they're also much more likely to buy other products that you might be offering. And they're able to like yeah, I mean, help you troubleshoot issues like, oh, I had this issue with it. I really wish this button was over here. Like it's really complicated to do this process. Yeah, like basically if you were a customer of a software that you really liked and it was the only software that existed for that thing, and you weren't able to say, oh, like this thing sucks, like I really want a way to do this very easily. Like if you weren't able to do that, that's so much worse than if you have a product that has a really engaged community and you're like, hey, you know, I use this product every day, but I want to be able to do like a bulk edit of these items. How can I do this? Please help me figure this out. And then the developer gets on there and like, all right, yeah, we're going to open an issue for it. Here's how you can track that feature. Everybody wins in that case. I don't know. I just thought about that and it was interesting to me. I'm not sure
Has
if you
she,
think about it.
so she's currently offering this. Has she made it work for other products?
Um, I don't know. I didn't explore her LinkedIn too much. Um, let me,
Gotcha.
yeah, go ahead. Keep riffing on it though. Have you heard about it?
I haven't heard about it. I guess two possible benefits or outcomes you could get with this idea is increased customer feedback and also increased fan loyalty and or sales. So by building this product or by building this community where dozens or hundreds of people or thousands of people are all together talking about the product, thinking about it, those people are even much more likely to obviously purchase it as well, in addition to just giving feedback. I'm not sure how much more a community could do outside of that though, because it would be like the blind leading the blind. Like if I were to say to Elon, hey man, maybe you guys should consider like doing this in your car, but I don't know any of the inner workings of the car. I'm not in the back end. So it's kind of like, it's like the YouTube comments on your YouTube videos. It's like, you can take them, for face value, but they're not necessarily going to build your YouTube channel with you. They can give you suggestions and feedback, but I feel like it stops there almost, is my thought.
Yeah, yeah, I think this definitely applies more to like small businesses, and probably I would keep it to software products because so like not the car itself, but maybe like the infotainment center in the Tesla, right? That could have some community focused aspect to it where people could say, "Hey, I want to like be able to order my coffee from my infotainment thing and pick it up at the Starbucks on the way to work." That would be more of a thing there. But yeah, Tesla's a huge company, so it'd be hard to do this for that. And I almost think this really only works for like a niche product, like something that's has a very specific audience. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's something I've been toying with and trying to mess around with, trying to like get that community started on Reddit. Like I've been sending a bunch of Reddit messages to different subreddits and replying and doing a lot of comments, trying to like warm up a few different subreddits and
Mm.
possibly them to another subreddit that I create at some point in the future. But
Yeah.
um,
That's a good
anyway.
idea. And it's just, I mean, that kind of sounds like content marketing for me too, just getting out there online and in different forums and building real connections with people. Is organic content is a great way to do so because you're building true brand. So it's a decent idea. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of debating whether or not I should put a lot of effort into it. I think it'd be tricky. I think it'd be tricky to kind of do right, you know? I don't know. I'll give you kind of a little bit of my reasoning. So, I mean, I know you have to go soon. We have our mobile ordering solution for our app,
I do
right?
know that.
So I don't know. I just have this feeling, and I can't back it up, and it feels very like external to the group because I'm not a coffee shop owner or a restaurant owner, but I feel like in that space there is a hunger for a better mobile ordering solution because right now it's like you have Uber Eats, DoorDash, and then almost all these places have their own mobile ordering through their website or something like that, right?
Mhm.
And number one, Uber Eats and DoorDash and Grubhub, blah, 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 they're super expensive. None of these restaurants want to have them. They do it because they know it's a guaranteed way to get new customers. Right? You put your restaurant on there, you're going to get new customers that have not eaten at your place before. And then possibly you get new regulars. And then you have people that are regularly ordering from you. And then ordering through your website is good. Like it's nice to have that functionality, but you're not going to get new customers from it, right? It's just you're going to get people that know of your restaurant and they want to pick up their food, so they're going to order through your website. But there's not a good like community-based solution where it's like we're not going to destroy you on fees, and there's tons of people using this platform, and you put your restaurant on the platform and you can get people to order from your store. There's not a good thing like that yet, and I get the feeling that like if you build the right community of like coffee shop or restaurant owners to kind of like brainstorm this solution together. Like maybe this coffee shop wants to add like a subscription option because they want to be able to let their customers subscribe and like, pay 20 bucks a month and get their coffee every morning for free. And there's kind of like, I feel like there'd be a really cool synergy there where you get like lots of people in the same space. There's a hunger for a better solution. And then like they all can kind of like help contribute to the end product and they can give ideas and almost like an open source thing. Like it's not open source and that the code is not open source, but it's like open building, like building in the open. I just get the feeling that that's a really, really good idea, but it's super hard to create those communities. I don't
Mm,
know.
yeah.
Do you think that's like over optimism or do you think that's actually fairly
I,
valid?
I think where a sticking point could be is just getting community engagement and getting these people into the community and wanting to go ahead and post and what's their incentive, right? What are the community members' incentives? Maybe literally just that they can feel like they're helping the product. You know, they're already a fan, so it's
So that's a question for you though. Like, how could you incentivize this in a more powerful way? Like,
yeah,
because the incentive I would say is like, oh, if we're building something together that will save us money in the long run because we don't have to use Uber Eats or DoorDash, and it's a better way to get new customers, then I'm all for it. Like, imagine if that was, because that's a decent incentive, but extend that further.
yeah.
Is there a way that they can all kind of like, I don't know?
If if they participate in the community, they could get some kind of discount on their next purchase of it. I think that would be it. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, by being a contributor to the community, I basically get the product for free, you know? And
Either
heck,
free or discounted.
I mean, there are ways to fund this product that don't require the merchants to pay anything. Like, there's a way to do this where the merchants literally, you know, they don't have to pay anything for the product, and maybe the consumer pays like a 25-cent convenience fee or something.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think
I don't know. It's interesting, and I'm thinking about all the different ways you could try to like embed community into what we're doing, but I don't know. I don't know if it's over optimism yet. Like, I can't tell if it's just like sort of, what is it called? Uninformed optimism.
my reflex thought is that monetary incentive is the best way to incentivize growing that community.
But then it's just like transactional, right? It's like, oh, join and you get it for free, or you know.
You could try in the contrary, and then if you have to increase your incentive leverage, then go to monetary. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting point. And then, yeah, that actually could be also a good like sales tool as well. It's like, oh yeah, if you join our community, we have a few hundred members in the area. If you join the community, we'll give it to you for free. Like, you don't have to pay for it. That'd be pretty interesting. I don't
Right.
know.
So yeah.
All right. That's the pod. Like, comment, subscribe.
All right. Thanks guys for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
All right. I'm gonna cancel the recording.
Okay.